I 100% believe that God's going to provide us this house, this rental house. There's no way that God would sit there and have us buy a home. That just doesn't make sense in any way to me.
Mom and I are just in a fight about this.
Here we go. Another rant on my rewatch journey of Sister Wives, Season 14, Episode 11. So apparently, Robyn not having a rental or a place to live was supposed to be some kind of plot for the show. Right, because nothing says compelling reality TV like having a grown woman and her clueless husband argue in front of their kids about basic housing decisions. Let's break this down, shall we? First of all, yes, the kids needed to know that they were moving in 2 months and should start packing. That's fine, but there was absolutely no reason to drag them into a full-blown argument about whether they should buy or rent a house. And certainly no reason to freak everyone out with Kody acting like a deranged lunatic, warning them that they're all going to be homeless if they don't make a decision right now. Then, surprise, surprise, Aurora starts twitching and has a panic attack. And what's Kody's brilliant observation? Oh yeah, she'll have a panic attack in stressful situations. Wow, you really nailed that one, didn't you? You just made her situation 10 times worse. So what exactly did you expect? Genius? Then there's Robyn, sitting there on the couch, whining, I can't help but feel like I did this to her. Yeah, you did. You and your brilliant husband decided to leave a perfectly fine setup in Vegas for no reason. Drag your kids to Flagstaff, where everything is ridiculously overpriced. And shocker, things didn't go as Kody's genius plan suggested they would. And to top it off, Kody has to turn everything into a drama-fueled crisis for maximum effect. Chef's kiss. And Robyn, with her God will provide nonsense. Really? God's out there dealing with war, poverty, natural disasters, and all sorts of other crises. But apparently, Robyn's mansion is at the top of his to-do list. God's got bigger problems than figuring out how to make sure you get a 6-bedroom house, lady. She's clearly hoping the show will paint her as the innocent party who tried to rent, but couldn't because nothing was big enough. Here's the thing. Kody found a few 4-bedroom homes, but Robyn's insisting on a 6-bedroom place. She's the one blocking them from renting a place, and she knows it. But of course, it's all God's will when it suits her. Oh, and let's not forget, someone dug up proof that Robyn and Kody had already signed the loan for the house before this episode aired. So yeah, the whole thing was just staged. The phone call Kody made to the realtor? Scripted. The struggle to find a place to live? All for show. In summary, Robyn's acting like she was helpless in this situation. But in reality, she just wanted the other wives to think she had no choice but to buy a huge house because it was God's plan or whatever. So let's not pretend this was anything other than a manufactured storyline for drama. We've got so much to dive into today, so let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Elena here, and welcome back to my channel Reality Nexus X. Oh, Robyn and Kody are living in their own little delusional world, aren't they? Watching season 18 again, it's impossible to ignore how absurd the situation is, especially when you compare the lifestyles of Robyn's family and Janelle's. The fact that they can sit there and claim Janelle has what they have is honestly laughable. Janelle isn't blind, so I can't understand why Kody thinks he can just pull the wool over her eyes. It's honestly crazy, and I'm hoping that in season 19, we'll see Janelle at least get some of what she's owed. I mean, seriously. And don't even get me started on the rental situation. The reason they didn't get a rental wasn't because God didn't provide it. It's because Robyn insisted on having a place with 6 or 7 bedrooms. If she really wanted to get closer to Coyote Pass, she could have picked something more realistic. But no, she made it impossible. Meanwhile, Janelle's over here trying to budget and save up to pay off Coyote Pass and build the houses she actually wants. Kody, on the other hand, seems incapable of planning anything beyond 2 minutes from now, no matter how much nonsense he spouts about the big picture. It's not even the first time Kody has said some ridiculous things, like when he couldn't understand why Janelle didn't just use the family fund to take out a mortgage like Robyns and Christine did. Remember when he tried pushing Christine's house on her after she left? Janelle had to break it down for him, again, about how mortgages work. Honestly, I'm starting to think Kody has the mentality of an 8-year-old in a middle-aged man's body. It's just infuriating that Janelle's tied to him through that shared land. Kody refuses to see things for what they are. Robyns sitting pretty in a massive house crammed with stuff she's hoarded over the years, while Kody finds every excuse to gripe about Janelle's living situation, whether she's in a tiny apartment or a slightly bigger place. He knows full well he's never going to be welcome there, so why bother? It's just sad to watch, really. I know, I'm probably an asterisk hole for admitting this, but honestly, I can't help it. I've been trying to be the kind, forgiving person. Really, I have. But deep down, I'm just counting down the days until Kody and Robyns are completely broke and on their own. No more money, no more cameras, no more access to the spotlight. Robyns will bail on Kody, leaving him all alone, and the once great family will be a thing of the past. We're talking about the OG3, the OG13, the 3 adopted kids, and the tenders, all gone. And you're not alone in thinking this. Honestly, I don't think the show's got much longer, either. The content tank is running on fumes. Maybe 3 more seasons tops, following the wives as they try to move on and live their own lives. And then that's it. Wrap it up for Sister Wives as we know it. I could see the OG3 spinning off into something else, though. Kody and Robyns' money situation? Yeah, it's probably tighter than they'd like. Without the show income from the other wives, things are looking grim. Soon, all they'll have left are rerun checks, but even those are not guaranteed. TikTok, folks. Time to get a real job. I'll be honest. I have no regrets when it comes to my feelings about Kody and Robyns. Watching him completely crush his kids in the latest season, especially Gabe and Garrison, has been hard to watch. The way he told Christine he never loved her, that he never found her attractive, and that he had to work so hard to be with her, that was just brutal. He went out of his way to tear her self-worth to shreds, then had the nerve to act like she betrayed him when she left. And don't get me started on how they dragged Mary along for years, feeding her empty promises that things could work out. In my opinion, Kody deserves every ounce of bad karma that comes his way. Honestly, seeing him live out his days alone, broke and miserable, that would bring me way too much satisfaction. You're right though, a lot of people are feeling the same. Kody's biggest fear? Poverty. The thing is, most people fear losing their loved ones, but for him, it's all about money. I would love to see his karma hidden when he's older, and he's getting there. Maybe a nice, painful back problem, the kind that keeps him up at night. And when that happens, I hope his OG3 kids just give him the same cold shoulder he gave Isabel. Robyns and her kids, too self-absorbed to care, but they'll probably end up taking care of this bitter old man. Serves him right. So, I was scrolling through Instagram and stumbled upon a post from Mary. It was a picture of her with Garrison, and the caption was, well, really sweet. I swear, there's something so oddly admirable about Mary. Despite being dragged through the mud by the family over and over, she still shows up. She still puts in the effort. She still loves them. I mean, if nothing else, the woman has loyalty. It's almost like she's too stubborn to let anyone's drama stop her from trying. And you know what? I respect that. We've all messed up, Mary included, but when you really look at it, you can tell she genuinely cares. Now, here's the thing. Unlike Kody, Mary's relationships with the kids aren't based on some weird alliance with their mothers. She sees them as people, not just extensions of their moms. It's refreshing, honestly. She actually respects and loves the family. There's no question about it. I mean, look at Janelle and Mary. They had their moments, sure, but Janelle was still cool with Mary being the legal wife. Why? Because she knew Mary would always put the family first. That's a big deal in that world, I'd say. And you know what? It's probably because Kody is a disaster of a leader. I'm willing to bet Mary had to be the one to play the bad guy in a lot of situations. You know, like when the kitchen was left a mess and Kody couldn't be bothered to address it. And let's not forget, they're part of a faith that's basically obsessed with women's fertility, so it's no surprise that Mary, for all her worth, was probably treated like she was less than because of that. Look, Mary's my favorite. Always has been. She's a little cheesy, but who doesn't love a good cheesy moment? I think she's got this really strong personality, almost domineering, honestly, which, let's face it, must have been tough to deal with. In the early seasons, she was all about the discipline with the kids, and that probably rubbed some people the wrong way. But I also think the way the other moms viewed her definitely influenced how the kids saw her too. Is she perfect? No. But let's be real, she's an easy target, and that's a shame. Oh, Robyn's brilliant idea to split the nursery into pink and blue, because that's not an incredibly basic move at all, right? Honestly, this whole thing screams extra. Pink and blue for boy versus girl? Wow, so original. Who needs a neutral color when you can be as cliché as possible? Babies don't even care about the color of their room. But hey, Robyn clearly needed to go all in and make a statement. So instead of picking something simple and calming, like a soft pale green or a creamy yellow, she went full basic and divided the room. A room that, by the way, will probably never even be used since she co-sleeps with the kids anyway. Let's also talk about how all the sister wives are constantly there to help her out. But where exactly is Robyn when they need her? I've never seen her return the favor. Meanwhile, the wife of my boss, who had the decency to actually pick a thoughtful, beautiful color, had the nursery painted a lovely Robyn's egg blue. Even though she was having a girl, the rest of the decor was clean, classic, and white. It was stunning, unlike whatever this is. But I think we all know what Robyn was really doing, trying to prove something to her sister wives. She wanted to show them that she's contributing, that she's a real team player by having her kids share a room. Of course, she had zero intention of actually putting them in there, since she's all about that co-sleeping life until they hit puberty. Classic move. What's everyone's take on Annie, Christine's mom? Personally, I've always had a soft spot for her. Watching this season 8 rewatch, where Annie's living with them in Vegas, really gets me, especially with how Christine talks about her mom. I can't help but feel like Annie got the short end of the stick here. She left a toxic situation, and from what we're shown, she's always been supportive of Christine, even after Christine decided to push her away, claiming Annie was a threat to her family. Fast forward to Christine's wedding to David, and Annie's still speaking about her daughter with nothing but love and happiness. But Christine? She basically brushes her mom off like a minor inconvenience. It's clear there's some unresolved resentment bubbling under the surface. But Christine? Oh, she's happy to bend over backward for her dad. It's like watching a weird paradox play out. Christine often rants about how traumatic it was when Annie left, and how she wanted to have a strong testimony, unlike her mom, so she wouldn't end up like that. Well, spoiler alert. She did exactly what Annie did. She did what was best for her. Which, honestly, I can't blame her for. It's just so obvious that their relationship is still stuck in a superficial loop. Even when you look at the footage of Christine cooking with her mom or the recent scenes, Annie's face says it all. You can see the trauma. She never looks at peace. There's so much more going on there than we probably realize. And let's be honest, people with deep trauma don't always have the emotional bandwidth to be the perfect parent. Now, let's get into the real difference between how Christine treats her mom versus her dad. It all comes down to the cult mentality. In that world, men are worshipped and women get punished. I honestly think unresolved resentment plays a huge role too. It's almost like Christine, no matter how deprogrammed she thinks she is, still has those cult remnants lurking in the background. The way she treats her mom versus her dad says a lot about how women and men were valued in that religious system. And Christine might not even realize it, but it's clear those old beliefs still creep into how she feels about each of them. Watching Mary's journey is genuinely painful. I'm on season 11, and honestly, I feel so bad for her. Maybe my mind will change, but right now, it's hard not to. The way she's constantly made to feel less than because she couldn't have more kids is just heart-wrenching. And let's be real, it's not like she didn't have enough on her plate. It's like every other sister wife was popping out kids left and right, and poor Mary is left feeling like she's some kind of failure just because she only had Leon. The constant reminders that she wasn't enough, especially from Kody, are gut-wrenching. Like, seriously, the guy has the nerve to bring up IVF and get her hopes up, only to shut her down the second she shows any interest in trying. And then there's Robyns, offering to be Mary's surrogate like it's some casual favor. What was that? How is that a thing? Honestly, it feels like a slap in the face. Mary starts to put herself first to go back to school, and Robyns just has to make her feel like total trash for wanting to follow her dreams. Because, of course, everyone in this family seems to be on a mission to crush whatever tiny bit of hope Mary has left. And don't get me started on the whole sister wives thing. Not one of them is innocent of being petty. They've all admitted it. Christine wanted to be the third wife for a reason, and Janelle has openly admitted she's had issues with Mary too. So yeah, they're all a mess, but poor Mary has to watch her husband crank out kids with other wives, while he makes comments about how she only has Leon. But the real kicker, Kody&Robyn totally strung her along. They got her to stay in the family, kept giving her this false hope about a real marriage, all so they could keep the income flowing. They didn't give a damn about her emotionally. Not just Kody&Robyn, everyone else in that family pushed Mary hard to stay and follow them wherever they wanted to go. But as soon as they set up camp somewhere, she was basically on her own, completely ignored. Honestly, she could have caught COVID and been dead in that house for weeks before anyone noticed. It's hard to pinpoint exactly when Kody started to change, but if we're talking about his evolution from the first couple of seasons to now, it's pretty obvious something shifted. In the early years, he wasn't exactly Mr. Responsible, but he at least seemed somewhat personable. Sure, he wasn't financially stable, but he didn't come off as the narcissistic monster we see now. So what happened? Maybe it's always been there, and the cameras just exposed the cracks in his personality. Or maybe the fame went to his head and the mask started to slip. But let's not forget, there's also the steroids. I'm convinced he's been on them since the Vegas days. That's when his whole vibe changed. The guy's face practically reshaped. He doesn't follow conventional medical advice, and it's clear he's been getting his health tips from forums, not doctors. As for his sense of responsibility, that disappeared over time too. Early on, even if he wasn't the most involved dad, he was physically present. It wasn't great, but at least he was around. After the move and meeting Robyns, everything started to change. Robyns wanted her own space, and Kody, like the love-struck puppy he is, was all too happy to give it to her. But Robyns had her own agenda, with demands that didn't exactly align with the team spirit of a plural family. She wanted to be the first wife, and frankly, she's not built for polyamory. She can't handle the idea of sharing Kody. For her, it's either us or them. The divide between her and the other wives only grew from there. So yeah, maybe Kody always had this side to him, but the combination of the cameras, his ego, and Robyns' influence made it all more pronounced. So I had this brilliant thought the other day. In the latest season, Kody's being interviewed about Christine's marriage to David, and he casually drops this gem about how he doesn't think truly will ever call David dad, or even really see him in that role, because, she's a teen, and it's a huge stretch for her to accept her mom getting remarried at that age. Fair point, right? But funny enough, It seems like Kody might have forgotten the striking similarity between that situation and the way he expected his own teen kids to suddenly see Robyn as their mom when he married her. You know, just a minor difference. He expected a complete family overhaul, no questions asked. I can't help but wonder if Kody's even taking a minute to re-examine his approach to blending families when he first married Robyn. But who am I kidding? Introspection isn't exactly his strong suit. Let's be real. Robyn's kids never had to be instructed or encouraged to see the other moms as their moms. That would be too much work. But of course, I can just picture Kody getting retroactively angry if Truly, or any of Christine's kids, start to see David as a father figure, while his older kids never had to play pretend with Robyn. I mean, he conveniently forgets that Robyn literally forced her kids to call Kody dad, while their biological dad was still in the picture. But sure, Christine will never do that to Truly, and I'm not losing sleep over it. Honestly, Kody's been delusional for years, and I'm not expecting any self-reflection to suddenly emerge now.